test match up for grabs. This series up for grabs.
Hello and welcome to Cricket Talks in another episode of House of Talks. This week we are here to discuss about the recently concluded West Indies versus the Sri Lanka One-Day series, which West Indies won 3-0, not without its hiccups. So the first one day was a very comfortable win for West Indies, set up by their bowlers, which restricted Sri Lanka around 230. And West Indies batsmen won with 8 wickets to spare with another one-day 100 for Shai Hope, along with good company of Darren Bravo and Evan Lewis. The second one-day was the closest of the three ODIs, which went to the last over, with Nicholas Pooran finishing the game off again with contributions from Evan Lewis and Shai Hope. And the third one day was a fairly straightforward victory with the hundreds from Darren Bravo and good company from Kieran Pollard, who set the series up 3-0 for the West Indies. We are here to discuss about the series in length with our friend from Sri Lanka, Sanjeevan. Hi Sanjeevi, welcome to the show.
Hi Rajiv, thanks for having me.
Yeah, the Sri Lanka West Indies ODI series did not go like you predicted. You predicted 3-0, just that it happened the other way.
The prediction was right, but the result was on the other side.
All right. So, just to sum up, right, Sri Lanka were not able to bowl out West Indies even in one single one-day international. So, is it fair to say the bowling looked toothless, even though Hasaranga bowled very well?
Yeah, we could say that because even though we expected the West Indies wickets generally generate quite a bit of pace, throughout the series, I think the wickets were in the slower side. So,
right.
And I don't think the bowlers really hit the good lines and lengths.
Yeah.
They were a little bit wavered. They could have been a lot better in the lines and lengths. But yeah, the pace bowlers initially didn't give us the breakthroughs. If you see in the two matches, the first two ODIs, the West Indies openers just batted themselves to a very comfortable position. There was very little help from the pitch as well. So, but I think we could have done a little bit better than with our lines and lengths.
Right. Looking at the scoreline, the second ODI probably Sri Lanka should have won if Nuwan Pradeep had a better death bowling skills, right? If you see his last two overs, I think he bowled 5 or 6 full tosses in the last 6 overs while trying to go for the Yorker. Even though Dushmantha Chameera bowled really well, it was actually Pradeep's last 2 overs that kind of tilted the game on the West Indies side with Nicholas Pooran hitting those runs, I guess, right? Is it a fair assessment?
Yes, I think it all comes with experience. Nuwan Pradeep is not Lasith Malinga who could do that all the time. So I think we need to give him a little bit of rhythm to get back in. So probably yes.
So you do expect Pradeep to bounce back? I mean, you do expect Pradeep to come back into the team and play more ODIs, T20s for Sri Lanka?
Yeah, Pradeep is in my top 3 pace picks for the SL team with Dushmantha Chameera and Suranga Lakmal.
Okay.
So,
I mean, to be fair to Pradeep, he did bowl a good ball to get rid of Kieran Pollard, right?
Yeah. So he has won matches for us. He has won tests for us in England. So
right.
He plays in different kinds of wickets. So I think the selection committee needs to figure out in which are the most suitable surfaces for him to play in the tracks.
Right.
So I think it's more of a wrong selection maybe with the wicket. But
Okay.
you then again at this level you can't expect them to bowl 5
Right.
jolly good full tosses at a crucial point. So,
Right. Okay. In most of these games, Sanjeevan, right? There is always seems to be that Sri Lanka is lacking the kind of intent and the power that we used to see from the Sri Lankan team of the old, where they are kind of street smart cricketers. They try to get more runs and more wickets. I mean, they have an all-round game. They play well with each other. Is that I find something is missing, and dropping Niroshan Dekwela from the team doesn't help as well, right?
Overall, I think they lack the body language. Preparation-wise, I don't know. I'm not too sure what kind of preparation these guys have gone through, because they look very rustic. And they're trying to bring in only their individual games. Most of them didn't show much intent to win the games, mostly blaming the senior players.
Right.
If you see, Gunathilaka was in good touch. He's coming out of a great LPL season. I think he did a fair amount of work for the team.
Right.
And Hasaranga and the new Ashen Bandara, only quite a few new names which has contributed throughout this series, which is a good positive to have anyway.
Right. The senior players has to step up, I believe then.
Senior players has to, unfortunately, Angelo Matthews had to get back home for a personal reason.
Right.
So they're always in a disturbing mode, you know. They're not as a team focused into the game from the word go.
Right.
So the T20 captain just came and joined in with the squad at the start of the third ODI. So yeah, there is something wrong which needs to be figured out and addressed by the board.
Let's come to the batting, right? So except for Gunathilaka and Ashan Bandara, as you rightly said, Hasaranga has made runs. So do you fancy him up the order in the upcoming series? Don't you think he's batting too low for his position, considering the kind of runs he has got this series?
Rajiv, to be frank, now Hasaranga with the two performances with the bat, when the team really needed it, he's all right. But I don't expect him to immediately jump the top of the order. And,
no, I'm not talking about that. Maybe number 6 or number 7.
Yeah, probably. I didn't see anything happening from Thisara Perera, right? So that slot has to be filled in.
I mean, just by going on current form, looks like Hasaranga is the better all-rounder than Thisara Perera, even though Hasaranga is a spin bowling all-rounder.
But it gives a little bit of an effect on his bowling as well if he bats for this long in every game. We expect only for him to come and play a small cameo of about 20 balls to get about 30-35 runs. And finish off that last 5 to 10 overs.
Probably a finisher's role, I guess.
But with the middle order not performing according to how we want them to, Hasaranga in the second and third ODIs had to come in a little earlier than expected, which probably would take a toll on his bowling as well. If you go through his bowling pacers. His pace was varying up and down, and fortunate that he didn't go through the leg injury, which he had a strain in the calf or something. So he's not he's not a guy who can, like the TM Dilshan, score 100 and come and give you another solid 10 overs.
No. I'm not even talking on that mode. No.
Yeah.
All right. Before I even forget, let's talk about that Gunathilaka run-out situation. I just want to get your opinion of it.
It's very unfortunate to be on the affected side.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the umpires made a mess out of it. They could have taken a little bit more time.
They could have went for the replay, I guess. Third umpire.
It's not a decision that you can give away in 2 reviews, right? So you need to check exactly what the rule, what the context of the game is.
Correct.
You would have consulted the match referee if it is that important, but probably the third umpire didn't have any doubt at all with the 2 replays. He just went on to say to the on-field umpire to go with his soft signal.
Yep.
So it's a little bit messed up. Until that point, I think my prediction was going all right. The opening partnership was 110 for no loss in the first game.
Yeah.
And it broke complete.
Basically, it changed the context of the match, and then Chandimal and Matthews getting run out also did not help. Basically,
So,
all right.
That run out was ridiculous, but
I get your point. Okay, so looking ahead for the Test series, Sanjeevi, what do you expect Sri Lanka to do, and what are your predictions for that?
To be smart enough, they need to really, try and keep the West Indies a good game. I don't think the boys will go in trying to save the match or lose the match. But West Indies coming after a good fought win in Bangladesh, while Sri Lanka going into tests after being beaten by England
at home,
right? So the confidence levels might be a little different. But I would expect Dimuth Karunaratne to play anchor and Dinesh Chandimal to play anchor. So they need to cut their rash shots, all the time. You see the wickets that had fallen in the ODIs and the T20s. It was not of good balls, which is the sad part. So if you're bowling good lines and lengths and getting out, it's okay. But if you're playing rash shots and getting out, I would like to ask them to stick around and capitalize these 2 games to see what's coming in the next few tours.
Okay, so what are your predictions for the Test series?
I'm a supporter, so I'm going to go with probably about 2 draws.
Okay, all right. Okay, West Indies and draws. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. I'm especially looking forward to Lasith Embuldeniya bowl in the spinning wickets.
Because Lasith Embuldeniya comes into the mix and Dasun Shanaka is back again in the squad.
Right. And Dushmantha Chameera is selected for the team, am I correct?
Yes, Dushmantha Chameera will play a key role. Again, Nuwan Pradeep and Suranga Lakmal, based on the wickets, who to bowl, what to bowl will be a question. West Indies, they have a solid batting lineup. The bowling is not exactly the same. Bowling wise, I think the 2 teams have the same kind of bowlers. Maybe the spinners, Sri Lankans have a little bit of advantage. But batting wise, I think
you don't underestimate Kim Cornwall. Cornwall is a pretty good spinner.
Yeah, Cornwall is a good spinner. But Hasaranga and Embuldeniya both are coming out of good form. So I would say Sri Lanka has an edge over the spinners. But batting wise, I think West Indies are far ahead because the youngsters also pulled up their socks in Bangladesh.
Correct.
So they're going to get a fresh start in West Indies. So they'll be all in to squeeze all inches. Let's see how it goes. Thank you.
Thanks, Sanjeevi. Thank you for your predictions and thank you for coming on our show and talking so passionately about Sri Lankan cricket. So that's it, guys. We will meet again with Sanjeevi after the end of the Test series. Bye.
Thanks a lot, Rajiv. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.